All right. I'm going to say that one more time just for the purpose of the call. So, the purpose of the call, guys, is to ensure that you're on track to hitting your goals and making the most of your IM membership. Because I believe that you get started, and I'll be honest, there's a lot that this platform has to offer, in the best way possible, but we want to make sure that you're navigating it the right way. You know how to maximize the resources, the tools, the mentorship, and the community that you have in front of you to the best of your ability. That's convenient and flexible with your schedule. Okay. This is not supposed to take away from anything in your life. It's actually supposed to not only add on to it, by giving you maybe more time, more flexibility, and honestly, value and growth. That's what I've gotten the most out of it. I've been able to think much, much bigger, much, much faster, and believe in myself that stuff like this is actually possible. So on this call, we're going to help you build your belief, give you a sense of clarity and direction, so that you can go out and make whatever goals that you've written down. Hopefully, you have written them down, because what you see is what you become. So I have my goals on my computer. I have my goals on my phone. Okay, so I can see them. You guys ever hear them talk about, especially at the events that we go to, they talk about having a goal card, keeping a goal card on you at all times. My goal card, I've got it written literally in my phone in multiple different areas. I've got it right behind me, written on my wall, on my whiteboards. If you guys have ever been inside of my apartment, you see I've got stuff, written out, even in my bedroom. Okay. So keep that in mind, because what you see is what you become. So we want to give you that clarity to go out and make it happen for yourself. So a couple things on this call, guys, to kind of just set the agenda, set the pace. We do these calls once a month. So this call may go a little bit more than 35, 40 minutes, but we want to kind of pack in as much value as possible so you can have a track to run on, and clarity and reminders, to go out and crush your goals that you have. So I want to talk about a couple things, and this actually was kind of pulled from the last call we did, but I wanted to refine a few things that I might have mentioned. And at the end of this call, we actually have a few people that on the team, guys, that are stepping up and just kind of speaking and sharing a little bit about their story, where they're coming from, what's been helping them, and why they actually decided to partner up with the academy and learn this skill set, this beautiful skill set of trading. So stay tuned for that. That'll be at the end. But the first thing that I wanted to cover, guys, is mindset. And we've all probably heard this before, but repetition in anything is key. And I want you to write this down as well. I talk about this a lot of times with the leaders on the team, and basically saying, everybody wants to have a sense of posture about what they do. Whether you're trading, you're building the business, you're doing anything in your life, business, sales, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I want to kind of write this down. Okay, practice will attribute to your posture. Okay, practice creates posture. If you want to go out and create any kind of success or results in your life, it's going to require practice. And I get this question a lot, Abby, like, what do you actually do to get the results that you have? People thinking it's some, secret magic formula, and it's really not. It's the stuff that people don't want to hear, quote unquote. It's the not so sexy work. It's the mundane stuff that you do every single day that's going to allow you to get the results that you want in your life. And so you actually set the pace for your success. This is full ownership. And I want to just start off with this. You create the result in your life based on you. Okay. Your losses are yours. That's your fault. Okay. Your wins are also your fault. So take full ownership of everything that you're getting out of this. The person that enrolled you, they're not here. And guys, this is so important. I got to say this. The person that enrolled you is not, we are not here to create. I can't help, I cannot go out and create the success for you. I believe that we all know that, but when it comes down to actually putting in the work, we kind of point fingers subconsciously or indirectly at maybe our upline or the person that sponsored us or brought us in. I'm not saying everybody does, but somewhere down the road, we somewhat do that. And I want to just tell you, you've got to point the finger back at you. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm getting the results I'm getting because of me. Okay. We're giving you the setup. We're giving you the plan. You've got to go put in the work. And for me, guys, I'm going to talk about 3 characteristics that I believe, and this is just from personal experience and from my mentors, people like, Platinum 5000, going on Chairman 10, Christian Jukes, Chairman 25, DCX, Go Live, crypto educator, Mike Sotero, and even Chairman 750, DCX crypto educator, Jason Brown. These guys were some of my first mentors, Jason particularly. They talk about 3 main things that you want to make sure you have as far as characteristics and qualities to go out and create success for yourself. So number 1, I would write this down, is you've got to be coachable. Okay. You've got to be coachable. And what coachable means, being having coachability is literally being able to follow instructions. Okay. I'm not here to like, I'll maybe hold your hand in the beginning. The person that, enrolled you, helped you get started is going to hold your hand in the beginning, but we're not here to watch the videos, for you. We're not here to, do all these things for you. I want to be independent, right? You're here because I believe you want some sort of independence, self-sufficiency on a financial level for yourself. Okay. And we're going to give you that, but you've got to be coachable enough to just follow instructions, follow directions, which should be simple. We have the plan laid out for you. So being coachable means, your willingness to change, your willingness to maybe give up certain things to go up for a temporary period of time. But when we give you a set of instructions to, go through the academy videos, set up a schedule so that you can watch go live on a weekly basis, guys, we say this for a reason. I'm humble enough to say and just grateful, guys, like seriously grateful. If you knew where I came from a few years ago, college grad, $100,000 in student loan debt, I share this with you because I know what it feels like to have crippling monetary pressure, to walk out of a bachelor's degree working minimum wage. Okay. I know what that feels like to be in a position now where God's good. I'm just going to say that. And having all of my income now all online being multiplied for me in multiple different ways, it's a blessing. But I didn't get here overnight. And I definitely didn't get here by waiting for somebody to come and save me. I had to go out and get aggressive about my goals, get aggressive about, what I needed to do to become the person I need to become. And that's what I want you guys to focus on with the mindset, because your income will never, write this down, your income will never surpass your mindset. Okay. Everybody wants to go out and make all this money right away, or, make whatever a result or something. And that's great. That's fine. We want to help you do that. But I'm going to tell you right now, when you go out and you get money before you get understanding, you will lose it. But when you can get understanding first, the money will follow inevitably. Okay. And you'll know how to manage it, maintain it, and multiply it. So again, coachability is very, very important. Don't overlook that. That's number one. Number two is being hungry. Okay. I always talk about this. If you can work in any field, tell me right now, you would rather work with somebody that's hungry. That's just like, ready to go, versus somebody that's, you've always got to be checking in on, you've always got to be, hey, like, did you watch the go live? Did you do this? Like, kind of just behind, lazy, not really like dedicated to their success. I want to work with people that are hungry, and you should too. For yourself, you should have enough self-respect to recognize, hey, this is a great opportunity. Actually, this is a solution to help me go where I want to go financially in my life, and be surrounded by the right people to have like-minded conversations with, conversations about going places. Okay. Most people don't know where they're going. They don't have depth of vision. They're doing the same thing every day and calling it a life. So you guys have to have this sense of hunger, and I can't teach hunger. Okay. I can't come up here and be like, you got to be hungry. This, step 1 through 5. It's not like that. Okay. You can't teach work ethic. You can't teach hunger. You can't teach desire. You've got to find that and discover that internally. And most of the time it's found through being inspired, or you're in desperation. I got started because I was desperate, but I turned that into a positive energy. You can do that. So having a hunger and desire about yourself and where you're going, you got to get clear on that. Okay. So that's number two, having a hunger and a burning desire for what you want. That's actually one of the keys to creating the success that you desire in your life, having definiteness of purpose and plan, and backing that with a burning desire. A burning desire is the starting point to all achievement in your life. Okay. So that's number two. And then finally, guys, this is some of the most important stuff I'm going to talk about, because you can't go out and get the results that you want if you don't have a foundation. Okay. If you don't have a level of awareness of like, okay, where are you at? So you can start to plan of where you can go. Cool. So the third part of this, guys, is being resourceful. Okay. Being resourceful. And this is actually something that's, if you have conversations with me, I talk about it a lot. But when you kind of like, other things and other people maybe have conversations with, this isn't actually something that's really talked about. But this is going back to the beginning. You can have the person that got you started, that enrolled you. Guys, this is all about personal ownership. Okay. Personal responsibility. If you're not okay or ready for that type of responsibility in your life, this is probably not cool. You're just being straight up. But if the person that enrolled you, they're going to set you up with a plan. They're going to give you all the steps, the resources, the tools to go out and create the success for you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to be resourceful about the things that they're giving you. Okay. They're giving you the setup, go out and put in the work so you can get that slam dunk that you want. So guys, being resourceful is super, super important. It's something that I take very, very seriously. If my mentor is Mike Sotero, Christian, they give me something maybe because I ask, or, just voluntarily, because they see maybe something in me, right? You ever have a mentor reach out to you, and you didn't reach out to them first, maybe because they saw something in you, or they saw value in you, maybe because they saw that you were hungry. Okay, they gave you something to work with. I'm going to be resourceful with that information. I'm going to go figure out the answer. I'm going to go do what I got to do, so that I can level up and take what they're giving me seriously. Because guys, mentorship is not something to take for granted. I see a lot of it a lot of times happen, especially, sometimes in our leaders groups, or, even in the group chat. We can take what we have in front of us for granted, and we're not taking advantage of it. So guys, those are the three things: being coachable, having a burning desire, and being resourceful. Okay. And I'm not going to go into this part super long or in detail, but I do want to talk about three things, leveling down from mindset, because you got to start here first. You got to have those characteristics to move forward. But I want to talk about three things that I believe are going to just kind of maybe keep you in check, maybe reset your level of coachability, and give you that level of perspective and depth of vision to help you go far in your life. Because you guys ever heard the saying, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together? These are very, very important points that I believe that you need to have. And for myself personally, to go out and create the success that you want, specifically inside of this platform. So the three things that I want to just mention right now, number one is commitment. Number two is your self-talk. And number three is vision, okay? Having depth of vision. And so I'm going to briefly just walk through this and hit on a couple points. But I want to say this, and I try to say this on every call, because sometimes, or not sometimes, we usually do have new people on the call. But I want to talk about commitment for a second, because every single person on this call, except me. No, I'm just kidding. I've already decided this, and I hope that you've decided this for yourself. I'm being very serious. Every person has an IQ date, okay? An IQ date. And what I mean by that, and I learned this from my mentors, it means that you have an I quit date. And I've seen this, guys. I've seen people that were on the call in January, they're not here in August. I've seen people that were on the call. So ask some of the people on this call right now. We've seen people that were on the call in July, they're not here in August, okay? And it's sad, because this has blessed me financially in so many ways I can't even describe. People ask sometimes, well, how much are you making? What's your income? I'm like, you wouldn't even believe me. You wouldn't believe an account that I took 6 months ago to where it is right now. Okay. That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about, but you don't get there unless you stay the course and you keep the faith. Okay. Most people have an IQ date, an I quit date, meaning you have some sort of thing in your head, some sort of expectations. And I get it. I have standards in my life too, but when I commit to something, I'm seeing it all the way through. I'm figuring this thing out because when you have a good thing, you stay the course. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. When I heard this one line, and that's what sold me forever. I remember my mentor, and you can write this down. You can take this to the grave. He said, Abby, the skill set that you're about to learn, the same way that you make $50 in this market is the exact same way you're going to make $500, is the exact same way you're going to make 5,000, 50,000. You guys get my point. Okay. The compound effect, you're just multiplying money. It takes a certain level of skill, grit, and mentality to go out and learn, but it's not impossible. We have a system set up for you. And I've shared this all the time. Like, y'all aren't using like the tools that we have. That's the reason why you're not where you want to be. Okay. Consistently practicing. There's no special secret I'm holding from you guys. It's right here. It's called practice. So IQ day. Do you have an IQ day? People get in, they're like, oh, I'm going to give it 90 days. I'm going to give it 30 days, and you're just like throwing stuff on the wall and hopefully something sticks. You're not betting on yourself. People don't believe sometimes that this works, but I just know that that's actually a self-reflection and a projection of how they feel about themselves. They don't believe that they can make this work. This has worked for not only myself, but hundreds of thousands of other people. Why can't it work for you? Are you that comfortable and settled with where you're at in your life? Or do you actually want more, like you say that you want? Okay. So get rid of that IQ date. If it's in the back of your head, you need to have a conversation, reach out to the person, myself, whoever that enrolled you, and we'll talk. But the worst thing that I could ever done was quit. I definitely would not be where I'm at right now. So everybody has an IQ date. I gave a bunch of other examples. I wrote down some stuff to make sure that I was on track with this, but there's so many different things, guys. And one of the things that I wanted to just share, and I talked about this on the last call, but Alex gave permission to kind of talk about this, but I want to give you an example because sometimes people are like, oh, $200 is a lot of money a month. I'm like, well, one, how much longer do you want $200 to be a lot of money? Okay. Number two, I was 22 years old and I was already like, yo, $200 is a lot of money, but I don't want to be 25 and $200 be a lot of money. Okay. So Alex, I'm going to give you this example because a lot of people like maybe have that thought process. It's not. And if that's a lot of money, go get your membership for free. I promise you, two people that would be blessed and grateful to get access to what you have in front of you. Okay. So Alex, for a long time, for actually a 12-month period, when she had gotten out of college, because she graduated a year before me, she actually went and paid $700 a month. She just graduated college, working 2 jobs, getting paid minimum wage, unreal, paying $700 a month. That's some people's rent, y'all. $700 a month for this like course thing where she was literally like, there was no like live session type of thing. It was like a couple pre-recorded videos sent out every week, no strategies, no tools, no nothing. And that's what she was paying $700 for. And by the end of the 12 months, she ended up getting started with the academy. She was like, I feel like I just wasted my time. And it's not that thing didn't work. There's probably a better method of going about it. But she recognized like the value of things that were in front of her. And we have so much access. It's kind of ridiculous for $200 a month. And she couldn't even get that for free. We can get ours for free. And we can share it with people to go out and create a residual income if that's what you have a desire to do. Cool. So commitment, guys, no matter what's going on in the world around you. Okay. I'm actually going to talk about that right now. Self-talk, circumstances, you've got to stay the course. You've got to know why you're here. And I think a big thing, guys, everybody focuses and they revert back to their why. But what's actually really, really important and super powerful is your vision, where you're going. Okay. My why, yes, it'll keep me in the game. But man, when life is just sucker punching me like one after another, and I just feel like, man, like when is this going to let up? And I feel like I'm just in a dark hole. And I don't know what to do next because I've been there. And I'm sure you guys on this call, you've been there too. My why sometimes isn't like enough. What actually ends up pulling me is where I'm going, my vision, who's counting on me, and also who's in my corner, man. I know who's in my corner, if you guys catch my drift. But self-talk is the second thing I just want to kind of touch on right now. And self-talk is very, very important. I have a book on my bookshelf. Maybe you guys want to write this down. It's what to say when you talk to yourself. I think I'll find the book in a second. I'll show you guys. But I read it a few months ago. Mike Sotero recommended me to pick up the book, but it's all about your self-talk. Okay. You talk to yourself the most throughout the day, and it's going on up here. And a lot of the times life will happen and we'll blame life happening, our circumstances, our inconveniences, the things that are going on, adversity, challenges, problems, family things, whatever. And we'll blame that on the reason why we're not ahead, on the reason why we couldn't plug into that live session, on the reason why we couldn't watch, the recording on our schedule, the reason why we couldn't play some practice trades today, whatever. Okay. If you look, I said this on the last call, if you cannot change, this is so powerful. If you cannot change your circumstances, which most people cannot, it just happens. If you cannot change your circumstances, you need to be able to learn how to change your energy. Okay. You can change the positive energy that you bring to situations, that you bring to the table. Okay. And I want to ask you, how do you elevate your energy? You elevate your energy, okay, by building your belief. You guys know that money is just energy. It's a frequency, the certain amount of money that maybe you have in your head. And I would ask yourself, what is your desire level inside of this platform? What is your desire level as far as how much money do you want to create from learning this skill set? I'm going to tell you right now, most people have a desire level. You may say that you want something, but your desire level is actually a little bit different. Your desire level is what you're actually willing, okay? Coachability, willing to go out and change, willing to go out and sacrifice and do things differently. Most people have a desire level to make an extra $500 a month, just being real. And then another tier level category, people have a desire to make an extra $2,000-$3,000 a month, and it just continues to elevate. So you have to ask yourself, what do you want from this? What is your desire level? But going back to elevating your energy, okay, focusing on that, you elevate your energy by building your belief. And how can you build your belief? By jumping on calls like these. That's why we do these, by going to events. The next event is in Houston. Shout out to everybody that went to SummerSlam, okay? Showing up to local events. If you have local events in your area, you need to show up to them, okay? If you want to build your belief, I promise you, ask anybody, especially out here in Arizona, if you show up every single week to our local events, I promise you, you're getting something out of that you can take with you and elevate yourself. Okay. And I want you to take this with you too. Whatever you focus on grows. We all know that. Whatever you focus on grows. So what are you focusing on? Right? Are you showing up to go live? Are you showing up to watch 7 and 8 figure, mentors show you how to multiply money right in front of your face? Are you showing up to calls like these? Are you showing up to events, so on and so forth? So guys, the biggest thing is whatever's going on in your reality is just a reflection of what's going on in your mind. It's your perspective, how you see things. Okay. So whatever your self-talk is, that internal dialogue that you have about yourself and the world around you, that's what's actually dictating what you do and the results that you're getting. So if you're not happy with yourself, if you're not happy with your results, or even maybe the progress that you're making or that you want, it's simply because you're not being consistent, and you're most likely allowing your circumstances to control who you're being and what you do. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of leave you with that. Self-talk is very, very important. What's the type of conversations that you're having? And what's the level of perspective and awareness that you have when things happen to you? And I'm going to tell you this right now. You guys have probably heard this a million times, but it doesn't matter how many times you hear something, because if you're still experiencing the same things, you don't actually know it. Okay. Sometimes those cliche quotes, they're the most relevant when we're going through whatever it's talking about. So I want to just say this: problems happen to everyone. We know that. It's not about what happens to you. Okay. What actually matters is how you're responding to it. Cool, super cliche, super corny. I get it. But how are you responding to the things in your life? And are you happy with the progress that you're making? If not, time to make a change. The last thing I'm going to talk about, guys, and we're going to bring up a couple of our speakers for the day to kind of give you their insight, what's been helping them. I think this is probably the best part of the whole call. I want to give you this last pointer right here. Okay. The last thing. So the last thing is vision. Okay. Most people have sight, but no vision. Okay. Most people have sight, but no vision. I want to kind of give you guys a couple questions. So number one, do you see with your eyes? Do you see with your eyes? Or do you see with your belief, with your vision? And this is a very, very important and powerful question, because most people see with their eyes. They open up their bank account, they see whatever's in their bank account, and they believe whatever they see is their reality. And I learned this from my mentor, Jason Brown, one of my first mentors, one of my favorite people to learn from, to listen to just watch and observe and learn, and everything like that. I remember he would tell me when I was in the beginning stages of my journey, he always would tell me whenever things would happen in his life, or just in general, whether things were good, whether things were, not so great, he always would tell me that he would trick himself. And it sounds weird, like, to say that out loud. Maybe, this is the first time that you're hearing that, but he would always say that he would trick himself to believe that he was maybe in momentum, or believe that, things were actually going really, really well. And it sounds weird, but like when you're in the moment, that's when it matters. Okay. Maybe when, your trading isn't going the best, you literally have believe. You guys ever see the word believe? It has the word lie. You actually have to lie to yourself sometimes, especially in the beginning, that what you see actually isn't your reality. Okay. I'm so focused on my vision and where I'm going. I have that vision, planted, and then I go to work to win the day. Okay. Great leaders, successful people, whatever you want to call it, are always speaking about where they're going. And I think the most important thing is most people right now, they just speak about what they see. Maybe they see something on the television. Maybe they see something on social. They see, somebody on their team leave, or, maybe they see their trading account, go down because they didn't use proper risk management, whatever. Okay. You cannot focus on what you're seeing. You have to focus on where you're going, and not get caught up. You guys ever take a trade, and maybe you were on a winning streak, right? Maybe you won 6 trades in a row, 8 trades in a row, whatever. And then that 9th trade, you actually lost. I think sometimes, and I've experienced this too, type of one in the chat if you've ever gone through this, but maybe you've gone on a winning streak and you start to think you're hot stuff and you're on your high horse and all this stuff. You're like, I don't need the academy no more. I've got this. I'm like, my guy, sis, you're on your 9th trade. Calm down. Just, you need to follow the process. Everything has a ratio. And then you get to that trade that you maybe take an L, and then you start to maybe second guess yourself. Okay. The plan is still the plan. The strategy is still valid. you don't need to switch up your strategy just because you have a loss. But that's sometimes what we do. If our plan doesn't go as fit, maybe that 1 or 2 times, we start to switch things up. We start to think like, oh man, like this actually doesn't work. I'm like, no, you're going to actually take L's. You're going to take, losses in your process, but you have to turn those into lessons. Yeah, it sounds super cliche again, but this is the truth. You start to get on a winning streak. Trust me, guys, you will. And you have to be able to ground yourself. Okay. You have to be able to understand what's actually happening and break that level of awareness of like, okay, cool. This is my process. Not everything is going to be 100%. And you need to recognize that what you see is not actually what is. It's not what it seems. So my biggest thing, guys, is have depth of vision, know where you're going. And the biggest thing to help you guys do that out of everything that I just shared with you is be around the campfire. Stay around the campfire. If you want, how many of y'all, type a 2 in the chat? Maybe you've been around the campfire and then you've walked away because life happened. Something came up and then something came up again. It's kind of like going to the gym and you miss one day. Okay. That one day may be okay for whatever reason. But if you miss 2 days, you start the domino effect. You start that negative cycle. Guys, I've been out of the gym for a very long time this year. And I just I'll be honest with y'all, like it's all good. I was just like letting other things happen. And I recently got a gym membership about 2-3 weeks ago. And I've been going to the gym, like actually working out literally every single day. Right after this call, I'm going to the gym. Y'all watch my story. I promise you, I'll put a snap up. Like it has become like a non-negotiable in my life that I've got to go to the gym. Anyways, that's something that you've got to create in your life, whatever schedule that looks like. But the biggest thing, guys, is be around the campfire. If you miss one day, if you miss 2 days, that starts to become a cycle and it eventually becomes a habit. And then it becomes what you're used to. And it eventually becomes what you tolerate. And when, what's the saying? What you eventually tolerate. Wait, I'll have to type it up. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I say this quote all the time. Ed Milet says it. It's something about what you don't hate, you'll eventually tolerate. That's what it is. What you do not hate, you'll eventually tolerate. So if you don't hate maybe the lifestyle that you're living right now, but you say you want more, you'll stay right where you're at, right where you're at, because that's your thermostat. That's what's controlling everything that you do. But being around the campfire, being around people that make you think bigger, much, much faster, show you where you can go, give you the plan of action, they elevate your belief. They elevate your thinking. They elevate your perspective. And the last thing I'm going to say on this, guys, is life is all about breaking new levels of awareness. Life is all about breaking new levels of awareness. And anytime I'm getting around people and conversations and events and places where I can rub shoulders with people that have dialogue and thinking, higher thinking and energy than I do, I'm taking advantage of that. So that's why I choose to jump on calls, be at events as a non-negotiable, because I know that I'm going to elevate from that no matter what. And I'm going to have a deeper understanding for who I am and where I'm going. And money will never surpass your mindset. I'm always going to go back to that. So guys, the one thing that I just want to show you, I said I'm going to bring up the guys, some of the people that are going to give testimonies. I just want to make sure that everybody is clear on the back office. So I'm going to just briefly share my screen. Hopefully you guys are rocking with me. Let me check the chat. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Drop a 3 in the chat if everybody's getting value so far. If you're getting a takeaway in here so far, I appreciate y'all. Just trying to pour into as much as I can. Hopefully, let me go back here. Hopefully this login screen looks familiar. Hopefully this back office looks familiar. You guys who have heard me talk, you get my joke. Sometimes people will have access to their membership and 3 weeks will go by and they're like, oh, Abby, I haven't logged into my back office. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? This is where you learn. This is where you grow. So hopefully everybody is familiar with the back office. Okay. Whichever platform that you have gotten started with or access to, you want to make sure that you go through the specific academy that you got started with. Okay. Go through those 100, 200 series videos first. And then the next part of this, guys, is actually setting up and going to our go live sessions. And this is the most critical part that I wanted to talk about just really quickly. Okay. Whether you're doing Forex, HFX, DCX, you want to go and hit on that channel guide that you're tapping into and find an educator or two that you like the most. Okay. And I just want to share with you really quickly. Hopefully my internet can load. pay $100 a month for Wi-Fi, and this is what we get. It always happens on the calls, guys. Let me try to go back. So every educator, I'm just going to write this out. If you are listening to go live, let's say with crypto, okay? Great educators to learn from are Crypto Picasso for Bitcoin, Curtis Cobain, probably one of the best educators, in my personal biased opinion, on the crypto side. Mike Sotero for anything decentralized finance, okay? And even Nick Gomez is great for beginners. But I would say if you want to start tapping into two main people, Curtis Cobain is incredible. I don't know why this isn't loading. Curtis Cobain is incredible. And where is it at? Nick Gomez for beginners. All right, here we go. So hopefully this can load and I can show you guys. All right, this is a mess. So you guys got my crypto side. HFX, I would say everybody's going to have their own personal preference. But for HFX, guys, I would say Millie Mills, obviously, she's like number one for a reason. Taylor Marks, this guy right here, and Maddie Pips, pairing the two. But I would say those are for live trading. But I would say if you're on HFX, I wouldn't do anything until you start watching Brandon Boyd and Dr. Josh Lee. Hopefully this will load so I can show you guys. But Brandon Boyd and Dr. Josh Lee, ask anybody that uses HFX that's actually doing well and moving forward. They watch Brandon Boyd and Dr. Josh Lee's session on a regular basis. They go live Monday through Friday. Even if you have to watch the recording, get on the replay. They're incredible. They have a day 1 through 5 boot camp in their favorite sessions. Go down and watch that. And then just start picking up on their daily sessions that they have, because they're going to teach you the strategy. They're going to teach you the skill set. They're going to teach you the mindset, the education that goes into it. And again, going back to being able to create independence for yourself. And then anybody that's doing on the Forex side, there's a lot of different strategies that people are using, anywhere between, Gold Cup, DeLorean, what's it called? Price Trap, harmonic scanner. There's a ton. Okay. And whatever strategy that you're using, the biggest thing is, guys, is just stay consistent with that strategy. Okay. I'm going to get out of go live. I don't know why my internet's being so slow all of a sudden. But that's the biggest thing, is just stay consistent with your strategy. Have a schedule, 3 to 5 sessions a week, 3 to 5 hours a week that you can plug into. And if you're, if you would classify yourself as like an overachiever, you're probably doing upwards of maybe 7 to 10. That's at least where I'm at with everything. And then, guys, I'm not going to talk about right now, but whoever hangs on at the very, very end, I'm going to briefly go over the Swipe Coin Scalper, because I get a lot of questions about that, but I'm going to show you where you can go to learn, because the scalper is incredible for crypto. So I'm actually going to get out of the way, guys, and I'm going to introduce a couple people on this call. They're going to give some testimonies, give a little bit of where they're at in their life, why they decided to make a decision to do this. And really the biggest thing, guys, is that vision. Where are they going? So you can get a taste from somebody else other than myself of what's been working for them and why they're so fired up and what's been helping them overall. So the first individual that I'm going to actually ask to come up here is somebody that I recently helped get started just about a couple months ago, made the decision literally on his first day of getting started to go to the event in SummerSlam. Dedicated, was literally his first flight. We'll say ever, real deal, real talk. And he's somebody that's come in super hungry, dedicated, consistent. Like anytime we have a conversation, I think he's literally only doing 3 things. He's at work, he's working out, or he's working on the charts. Okay. He's so dedicated to learning the skill set because he understands the fact that it can help him get financially free and help his mom and his family go where they deserve to go in their life. So Chris, my guy, I appreciate you. I want to unmute you and allow you to come on here and just share a little bit about yourself. Give the people what you're so excited, fired up with. So go ahead and take it away, brother.
Heck yeah, thank you. Okay, so why I got started. So the reason why I got started was, so before trading and before Forex, right? Like I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I was lost, I went to college after high school, just feeling, my path there was no direction. And so other than being an athlete, so like I was an athlete, I was a track athlete, and so like I came, like obviously the only thing that I was passionate about was just being being the best, being successful at what I was doing, controlling what I was, focusing on. And that was just, obviously being a track athlete. And my goal, so from like 2014, from 2017, my goal was, okay, I want to make it to the Olympics. I want to go to Tokyo at 2020. But I knew eventually down the road that idea was going to come to an end. Um, I knew that, okay, I had a few years of eligibility. I wasn't very knowledgeable on how that worked. And I knew that my juke, like I didn't even get my associates. I knew that was going to come to an end. I knew the community college was coming into an end. And so I was like, dang, I was losing hope. I was losing hope with what I was trying to pursue. I was losing hope with and not only that, I lacked, job experience. I lacked financial experience. I lacked connections. I didn't know how to communicate with whoever. All I know is that I had this vision, I had this goal, but I didn't know the directions to get where I wanted to go. And so my family thought I was going to become a loser. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to go back to college. So I went to a university, transitioned from a JUCO college to a university. And, people, I try to get connected with the coaches there. They said that, I had to wait a whole nother year to run with them. And so I was like, you know what? Screw it. So I'm left with this. So I go to GCU. I'm left with $11,000 in debt. I feel lost still. I don't know what I want to do with college. I still felt misguided. I was lost. And so I end up just being depressed, like literally for a long time, just being depressed. And I surrounded myself with the wrong crowd, surrounded myself with the wrong people since I gave up on life, I ended up partying a lot. And I started drinking, even though typically that wasn't me. Like, I'm not a drinker. I'm not, because obviously my goal was to stay fit, and healthy. And so I started drinking my problems away, thinking that would help escape my depression. But no, it didn't really escape. Those feelings came back, or in 10 times worse. And so pretty much from there, I just started to pray. I was like, you know what? God, help me out. Got down on my knees. I was like, God, help me out. I need to find a way. I need to find a direction. Yes, I believe in God. So I asked God, like, I need help. Help me to figure out what I need to do in this life, because I'm lost. And so I guess 2-3 weeks later, um, this one dude named Exclusive Entertainment, he added me on Snapchat. And so I see what he's up to. I see his story, and I see these charts that he's posting on these stories. And I'm like, yo, I texted him. I'm like, yo, what's this? I'm interested. Like, what's all these trends going up and down? Like, I want to know more about this. Like, you look like you're a very successful man. And he texted me back and he said, like, yo, come down to this meeting at this certain time. And then from there was history. I went to this meeting, and not only did I met him, I met Abigail, and then from Abigail I met Christopher Derrick. That was the educator that I got involved with, and his story is amazing. And I also met John Guaman, and I was like, "Yo, guys, like, what do you get? What's this all about?" And then like, "Yeah, we trade and whatnot." And I remember John, when I bumped into John Guaman, he's like, "Dude, you're gonna have to bust your, like, you see what we're doing? You're gonna have to bust your butt. You're gonna have to work every single day. You're gonna have to work really hard if you want to get to our level. You see us youngins being great and successful. It didn't happen overnight. We literally busted our butt, and you're gonna have to do the same thing." And so I was like, all right. So in my mind, I'm thinking, if they can do it, I can do it too. And then from there, obviously the rest was from history. And I literally dedicated my life 4 years, even though I did take a break from IML. So I was in IML in 2017, and I took a break from IML because of obviously school and whatnot. But when I was in the dorms, I didn't really do much. I literally sat down in my desk in my dorm, just draw charts. And I stayed close to the educator. I saw him posting stories and whatnot, even though I wasn't looking at him on Go Live. I stayed close at looking at his stories. I stayed close with uh just contacting him, communicating him, and letting him know that, yo, look at my results. I'm doing good. And he would always, Christopher Derrick, a humble guy, he messaged me back. He's like, you're doing good. You're doing good. Keep going. Keep going. And that kind of boosted my belief. It kept helping me, continue, believing what I was doing. And so, shoot, all I know is that my trading, it's getting there, and I'm truly grateful that I'm surrounded with, the right people, the right connections, Abby, and the educator that I have. But shoot, I'm losing train of thought. But shoot, back to why I got started. Why did I get started? So not only the reason why I got started. So I felt pretty much, to keep it short with this, I pretty much fell in love with trading. I fell in love with the process. I stayed consistent for 4 years, and things are looking good. And not only why I got started was for people, for my family, for my mother. I want to help them out. You know, everything doesn't seem too great, but I believe that I'm going to help them out. And when I do eventually get married and have kids on my own too, like I want to help my kids. I want to help my kids, not suffer like the way that I've been suffering, struggling on trying to figure out life. I want to help them out. And I want to help also people who are outside of my family to learn more about this opportunity. It would be a selfish ambition to not share this opportunity. I want to share the blessing. So, and the other question is, what are you excited about moving forward? um I'm excited about I'm all I know is that I'm excited about just, what can I say? Like I see myself in this, currently right now in IML. Like I see myself, just helping as many people with this. I'm about to sign up someone. He seems like he's interested. He says he's down with it, and so I believe I'm gonna be P1 before November 7th for the next event. I'm gonna get him set up, sign him up, and help him out with that. Get him connected with Abby, and get him connected with whatever educator that he wants to get connected with. And yeah, other than that, I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna be doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna, like I said, like Abby said, I hit the gym. I go to work, and if I'm not working, I'm looking at the charts. That's all. That's all. So yeah, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. And my thought process is, like, my thought process is, I believe, honestly, I'm a six-figure trader. I literally believe, with the way things are going right now, with the way things that are lining up, without a doubt, I believe I'm a freaking six-figure trader. I know I am a six-figure trader. So that's it. End of story.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Appreciate you, Chris. Guys, drop some sevens in the chat box, baby. Give it up to Chris, bro. We appreciate you. Thanks so much for sharing, for coming on here, and just being transparent with your story, with where you were at. And I think the biggest thing, guys, is where you're going. I don't think people really recognize that when you share some of the stuff that maybe you've gone through, and that not like, everybody has a sad story, right? Everybody has problems. But when you can share that, hey, I went through this, yeah, that happened, but I actually overcame it, or I'm literally in the process of overcoming it right now. These are the things that I'm doing to get better. You're inspiring people to go out and do the exact same thing. You're inspiring people and giving them a sense of hope. Like, hey, I actually see myself a little bit in you. I'm going through something, relatable. I'm going to go out and fix this. I'm going to go out and, be the reason that I create the success in my life. So Chris, we appreciate you, bro. Thanks so much. Guys, the next person I'm going to bring up, we got two other individuals that are going to come on here and just kind of share, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. But the next individual I'm going to have come up and just share with everybody is somebody that literally just got started, I believe, less than 2 weeks ago, or just about 2 weeks ago. So it's a little early for him to jump on, but he was up for the challenge. And not only that, but he was, really excited to be able to share, where he was at, before this. Very, very inspiring story, and just somebody that I personally really, really enjoy working with, because he's hungry. He's coachable. He's always asking questions. He's always wanting to figure out, the solution, getting better, taking action, and just really doing it whatever it takes. So, Mark, if you made it to the call, brother, I would love to hear for you to come up here. I know we all are excited to hear, a little bit about you, your story, and what's kind of been working for you so far, and where you're going.
I'll mute myself. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, awesome. So, hey, what's up, guys? My name is Mark. I've only been here like 2 weeks. I'm currently with DCX, 37 years old, single, out here in El Paso, Texas. I own a business, I own a gym actually called Torch Fitness. And yeah, the way I got started is Abigail reached out to me on Instagram, and I'm pretty skeptical. I'm not into like get rich quick schemes or anything like that. So when she first messaged me, I really didn't think anything of it. I responded back, kind of was like, it's probably a scam or whatever. But yeah, something about her got through to me. Like, she's just super positive, and yeah, she had messaged me one more time, and I was like, you know what? Let me look into this. Let's give this a shot. So yeah, literally like 2 weeks ago, I just got started, just like you guys, watching the videos, and it's just crazy how confusing crypto can be. Like, my mind's still trying to like wrap itself around it. It's tough, man. But I'm willing to put in the work. I guess the reason I'm getting started is because obviously I own a business, but I want freedom just like Abigail does. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, I want to be able to do the things that I want with no thought into like, oh, am I gonna be able to afford it? Like, I want to have the money to do things and help the people around me. So that's my number one thing. Like, I want to create a culture around me, with success. I want to help my family, my friends. And that's pretty much my main reason for getting started. I'm really, I want to give this crypto thing a go. I want to be successful. And I truly think Abigail was sent into my life for a reason. So I appreciate you. And yeah, I just hope to make everyone proud. So that's me.
Let's go, Mark. I appreciate you. Short, simple, to the point. Seriously, thanks for coming on here. Mark, low key, he's his biggest critic, but he's actually well ahead than he gives himself credit for. But I know you're gonna do big things, bro. So guys, put some sevens in the chat box for Mark. We're gonna talk this week and get you on your way. But guys, the last individual I want to bring up is actually somebody that has been rocking with the platform now for the last 4 years. And it's kind of crazy when you really think about it. When was the last time that you stayed committed to something for even 12 months, right? Or even 6 months, or whatever the case is. And this is somebody that has really been around, the neighborhood for quite some time, and has really gone out and figured herself out from where she was to where she's at now, and really getting super clear about where she's going. And I think it's really cool to see people come in and maybe not have that much belief in themselves, but know that they can do big things. And just being able to see Caitlin come in here and grow so much and just learn about herself so much over the last few years and impact people is the biggest thing. It's really, really exciting on the other end. So, girl, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, get out of the way, let you kind of speak on a few things, and we'll wrap up this call. So go for it.
Wow. You guys have incredible stories. It's such a blessing to hear everyone's story and where they come from. I'm grateful for y'all. So I know there's a lot of new faces on the call, a lot of new faces in the team. For everybody that doesn't know me, my name is Caitlin Berg. I'm 23 and I'm from Michigan. And like Abby said, I got started about 4 years ago. So been in it when it was IML and only but when I got started, I was actually a nursing student. So, that desire to help others kind of came in a different way. But I just realized, being a nursing student, that I didn't want to work 12 plus hours a day. I didn't want to do that. That was not the vision I had for myself. And I knew that this platform was going to give me the resources and tools I needed to achieve time and financial freedom. So I'm going to get right into it. I'm obviously using HFX and DCX. Like I said in the chat, I tune into Brandon and Josh for HFX, and I'm tuning into Kurt and Mike Sotero for DCX. I'm using Cash Trap. So that's super, simple, straight to the point. We all know how to plug into these things, hopefully, right? But yeah, that's it for trading. But I know there's a lot of people on the team that desire to share this with other people. And there's a big misconception that I see a lot, I hear a lot, is that you need to be the expert to go out and share this with people. And that is so not true. I will be the first one to say that. Okay. You need the belief that this is the vehicle that is going to take you and other people with you. That's what you need. So how do you get that belief, right? I have 3 things to share with you guys that have really changed my mindset. If you don't currently have this belief, okay? Because belief is like number 1. You need that to go anywhere along with that desire, right? So the first is, if you don't have that belief, borrow it from your mentor, borrow it from whoever you're working with, whoever you're inspired by in this industry. Because at the March Madness event, I heard something that like really stood out to me. And it was the fact that we have so many examples. We have so many success stories of 6-figure plus traders, of chairmen in the industry. And we know, hey, that's possible, obviously, right? People are doing it, but we never believe, hey, I can do that too. But you literally can. It all comes down to belief, right? So my second point is, I encourage everyone on this call to plug into the campfire. Those Sunday night team calls are like essential, because hopping on those calls, it's what's going to, get you that repetition, like Abby was talking about, that belief that you don't yet have from other people who are speaking and have what you want. And then the last thing that I want to share is get yourself to events, right? That is like the number 1 thing that is so underrated, but like necessary. Everyone who went to this last event knows, like, July was freaking hard, guys. July was just hard, not just for me, but a lot of people. Okay. We had random finances, random life problems, like the universe testing you. Hey, are you sure? Are you actually sure that are you sure you need to go to this event? And I'm like, girl, I'm sure. I know. Okay. I had to get there no matter what. And it was a test, hey, we all have our problems and our setbacks, right? But who's going to actually follow through? I knew the universe was testing me. I'm like, I'm ready. And I passed the test. Okay. Because going to this event was so pivotal for me in my belief, in my energy, in the information that I know now. So you never know what event is going to be the event that changes everything for you. I mean, obviously I've been here for 4 years, right? I've been to events, but you never know the one that you really need. You never know. So that is my last point, is get yourself to the event. Make sure you go to that November event. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you listening to me today, and I'm going to pass this back over to Abby.
Let's go. Guys, can you please drop some 7s in the chat? I was going to say P6 loading, but we already P1K loading, baby. Guys, drop some 7s in the chat. Caitlin, appreciate you for not just sharing those points, but like giving us a little clip of your energy. And I think we've talked about this before. Energy is a big deal. And when you can transfer that heightened enthusiasm to others, you're already instilling belief into them. So I appreciate you. And yeah, she touched on a lot of great things. And the one thing that really stood out was her follow through. Everyone can get started. Everyone can get that gym membership. Everyone can swipe their card, but can you follow through on that initial commitment? Can you keep showing up even when life just continues to hand it to you? Because life is going to hand it to everybody, but what are you going to do about it? How are you going to respond? How are you going to show up? Are you going to keep showing up, or are you going to back down like most people do, when life starts to get tough and tricky? So Caitlin, I appreciate you. Very, very grateful to, just continue to keep growing over the last few years. And I can't wait, for the next 4 more, to come. So guys, in closing on this call, I'm going to stop the recording in just a second. Just want to kind of kick off this week. It's Sunday, moving into the new week, moving into the new month, the new season, and a new quarter. Q4 is upon us. Guys, this is, summer was the season of separation, not just from other people, but from, maybe yourself, maybe your old habits, your old ways of thinking, your old, ways of behaving. And I really took that seriously this summer. But Q4 is very, very important, because this is when the distractions start to get heightened. This is when people start to take their foot off the gas, kick back, relax. It's the holidays. It's this, it's that, it's whatever. Family time. I get it. Do your thing. Prioritize family like I do too. But also recognize the opportunity at hand that's in front of you and where you actually want to go. I spent too many years, too many days, too many weeks doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And I found myself in literally the same place year after year. And that's actually one of my biggest fears, is going year after year in the same position as I was the year before. So just ask yourself, are you keeping up with the non-negotiables that you've set for yourself? Are you doing the things that you said you were going to do long after the feeling you set it in has left you? I'm going to leave you with this. I have a notebook. I learned this from one of my virtual mentors. His name is Andy Frisella. He talks about his program called the 75 Hard. This is not a plug for that, although it did change a lot for me when I did do it. It's a free program, by the way. I'm not trying to be the plug. I'm just saying he talks a lot about this concept called win the day. And I actually went out and bought myself a notebook. I wrote on the front of it, win the day. Everybody's trying to make the $1 million, make the 6 figures, crack that, 7-figure trading account, whatever. They're so focused on the result that they don't focus on the daily actions and the mindset that actually are a prerequisite to yield the result in the first place. So I focus on winning the day. It's over there on my desk. But every single day, I've got 5 key tasks that I am like, it's a non-negotiable. I do those every single day without fail. Okay. Before I go to bed, I like, it was not a productive day unless I did those things. And I want you to get clear on those things for yourself as a call to action of, it doesn't need to be 5 things, it'd be 3 things. Okay. And you don't need to go cold turkey, but you do need to start moving yourself in the right direction of what are those 3 things, those 5 things, those whatever that you're going to do every single day without fail. That's going to help you move the ball forward. Success is about inches. It lies in the inches. It's the compound effect. The penny doubled over 30 days. By the 15th day, you're still in 2-digit marks. People are like, man, I'll take the $1 million right now. What they don't realize is the penny doubled over 30 days is actually about $10-20 million. Okay. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen in your life, but what I am saying is the compound effect is real, and stop focusing on, I got to get the result right now, because you're going to be out of here in 30 days. You're going to be out of here in 90 days. We won't see you in Houston. You got to focus on you winning the day. What can you do? Because this works when you work. Cool. So tonight, Sunday night team call, Caitlin mentioned it. Mike Sotero, our personal mentor, he does a Sunday night team call every single Sunday without fail. It is in my calendar on my phone. I am in there every single week because I'm ready to learn from an individual that's created multiple 6 and 7 figures, both on the trading side. Guys, I saw his portfolio at dinner one time. You want to be on that call. Okay. And somebody that's impacting, thousands of people all over the world to get financially educated. Most of the time on these sessions, these live Zoom trainings that we get because we're on his team, he gives out, market ideas, trade setups, things like that on the crypto side. So every single Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, we have those calls going on. The links for those will be dropped in the chat as normal. And the next monthly team call, guys, is going to be the last Sunday of September. I don't recall what day that is, but it's the last Sunday of September, same time, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you want to be up here speaking on this call, 3 people, okay, shoot me a text and let's start to prepare you for that and see what we need to do to qualify you to be up here. So guys, with that being said, I'm super, super excited for y'all. I'm grateful that you guys spent your Sunday afternoon here for about an hour or so. And I'm actually going to stop the recording, and anybody that wants to hang on, I'm just going to briefly go over the swipe coin scalper. Let me actually stop the recording. How do I do this?